Hey Atari Jaguar fans, I just wanted to give you guys a gist from what's going to happen from this point on. Starting today, I am going to cover a total of 22 Atari Jaguar titles. Now just to clarify, originally it was 21, but I finally got my hands on Power Drive Rally, but this was a last minute late addition to my collection, so I have not had much time to really play it, let alone record game footage or write a script for it, so unfortunately this one's going to be reviewed after all the other Jaguar stuff is said and done. I just don't have the time to work on it, unfortunately. I just wanted you guys to know that I do have it and I am going to review it. Okay, here's the gist on the Jaguar games. The reason I'm not doing them individually like one per episode is because eventually I'm going to re-review these, I'm going to go more in depth. Today I'm just more general review, I'm going to discuss things like graphics, gameplay, music, things like that. Now, that being said, video length for each game is going to vary because of different things, like Alien vs. Predator, for instance. That script, because that game is so complex, was massive. That one's going to be a long review anyway. But like I said, in the future I'll have a lot more stuff to do with that game. And a few other games have long scripts too, just not as long. But like I said, most scripts are 3 to 5 minute range, not too bad, just good enough. And as I said, this is just more general, but there is going to be some special stuff that you'll learn you probably didn't know, or you may have known, you just weren't sure of. Anyway, today you're just going to see Cybermorph. Now, unfortunately, guys, I was not able to replace the audio in this one because I tried, but I just don't have the time anymore. I really lost so much time redoing the audio for episode 1 and episode 3. That's why I can't do episode 2's replace episode 2. I can't replace episode 2's audio right now. I just don't have the time. In the future, I will try, but right now I just can't do it anymore. Now, Cybermorph, the audio's not bad. You can understand it. So there's that. And there's some interesting stuff during the video that you probably might find interesting. Episode 2, which I'm hoping will be up at the same time, but I might have some small delays, so it might be up a day later, is going to feature Trevor McPherson in the Crescent Galaxy, Raiden, Tempest 2000, and Wolfenstein 3D, which I just finished editing, so that's why I may look a little mentally exhausted. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you guys a gist on what's going on and so forth. I hope you're enjoying the Atari Jaguar review so far. Cybermorph is going to start shortly, so I'm going to say goodbye now. See you guys later. Okay, the first title up for review is the packing game Cybermorph. First things first, Cybermorph is a packing game for the Jaguar, and there are two different versions of the game, a 1 meg version and a 2 meg version. The 1 meg version was released later and has a box, while the 2 meg version was packed in with the Jaguar and has no box. The only difference is the 2 meg version has more voice samples for the computer voice Sky Alarm, and some animation sequences before you start each mission. Atari later had the 1 meg version made to save money. That being said, I have a rare anomaly on my hands. As you can see, the cartridge says 1993, which means it's the 2 meg version and has a code 700700-2. The 1 meg version says 1994 on the cartridge and has a code 700700-3. Despite this being the 1993 version, it has a box and it appears to be older. Plus, the overlay for the 1993 version is made out of durable plastic, and the 94 version is made out of cardboard as another cost-cutting measure. I have no idea why this copy has a box, and the person I got it from doesn't know a thing. My only conclusion is either someone got their hands on an extra box, or I have a very rare anomaly
where the pack-in version ended up in a box for the 1 meg copy. That being said, yes, when I got my Jaguar, it did not come with Cybermorph. Odd indeed. I had to search for the 1993 version and finally got it. Okay, the story behind this game is it was a concept game for the cancelled Atari Panther, but was ported to the Atari Jaguar, so it's nowhere near fully optimized, and it was not meant to be released in this form. You start with the title and hear some kick-butt music. Then you choose between several planets. Once you pick a mission, you get a mission brief, then you start on a world. And you will need to get used to the controls, and likely die the first time. It happened to me. Once you get used to the controls, they're very responsive and you can go forward and accelerate and go in reverse, as well as slow down and go up and down and turn left and right. There is no in-game music, which makes the game feel dull. And all you hear is your ship's engine sounds and your blaster's so-so sound effects. Though it's not bad. Now the enemies range from okay to really low-grade visuals. Your objective is to either destroy something or collect yellow pods, as well as collect special power-ups. That give better weapons, though they're temporary. You can also change your ship's view angle in several different directions using the overlay. This game has a computer called Sky Alarm that has a somewhat annoying voice. It says one of the most irritating lines you'll ever hear in a game.
Where did you learn to fly? Where did you learn to fly? Where did you learn to fly?
And a special note, if you have the 1 meg version of the game, you'll hear
Where did you learn to fly? Where did you learn to fly?
a lot more often than you do in the 2 meg version. The game is very challenging and you can die very easily. Another drawback, you rematerialize in the same spot where you died. Though it can be handy under the right conditions, the game is not programmed to save your progress, so you'll have to use a code system to get back to where you left off. Now graphically, while it is fully 3D, it is obviously not polished from the very limited color palette used and other repetitive designs in the game. However, comparing this to Star Fox is not 100% fair. Star Fox was not out yet when Cybermorph arrived, and while its graphics are on par, and it is a better, more playable game, you have to remember it is not full 3D. It is on rails. Star Fox is a shoot-'em-up, while Cybermorph is a shoot-'em-up and a puzzle adventure game, having you complete tasks. In the end, Cybermorph is an okay game, and while I happened to get the Battlemorph sequel first, which is far better in every way, I still enjoy this title. It is a must-have for Jaguar owners. Now, I read somewhere that the company that created Cybermorph created a far better version of the game, which apparently was better than the Battlemorph sequel, and it is a 3 meg version, but Atari supposedly had the company scale the game back to save money. And while I'm skeptical, if Atari did indeed do this, it would make Atari guilty of cheapening out on a launch title. However, there is no proof, and unless the 3 meg version surfaces, this is nothing but conjecture, rumor, and speculation. In the end, I am gonna give this title an A-. The game is not finished, and it was originally for the cancelled Atari Panther, and despite the game's flaws, it's very playable and I will keep playing it, and I recommend it to anyone who has a Jaguar and anyone considering getting a Jaguar.
Tune in next time as we take a look at more Atari Jaguar titles. This is the Entertainment Wizard, signing off.